We just looked this up. So there was a soundbite of her saying she really wanted her merch that she's selling to be prestige.
Yes.
Not prestigious. She wanted it to be prestige.
Yeah.
But at like a price point everyone can afford.
Yeah.
So we looked it up. She's got a raspberry spread under the As Ever label.
Love it.
Raspberry spread. You can get it for $14. Or you can get it at Walmart under the Smucker's label for $3.47.
Right.
Herbal lemon ginger tea, As Ever, will charge you $12. Or you can get it from Yogi for $4.46. Shortbread cookie mix, As Ever, will charge you $14. My Better Batch, which is high end, $7.99.
Right.
Then there's Wildflower Honey with honeycomb, As Ever, $28.
Yeah.
Amazon, $11.
Right.
And then there's Crepe Mix, which you can get from her for $14, or you can get it from New Hope Mills for $5.
Yep.
So you tell me whether this person has actually landed the plane.
Right.
On prestige, but totally affordable.
Well, what's brilliant about what she's doing is she knows people want to spend money, and spending money makes them feel like they're getting something that's better, even though it might not necessarily be true.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's brilliant. You can tell when you watch the show, she thinks people we're all animals. Yeah. And that's her view. She just thinks we're all monsters and we're all just kind of pigs in the mud, and that she's helping us with jam and honey. It's also very weirdly British, isn't it?
Yeah, well, her little flower sprinkles.
Isn't it
her garden.
It's kind of oddly British for somebody who went over there and realized it was just a racist, horrible place. There's a lot of jam and tea and honey.
And why is she using all the royal crown on her stationery? I thought she hated being a royal. I thought she wanted to eschew the royal life and come back to America.
Well, it seems it's just very interesting, and seeing it all happen in real time fills me with it fills me with I recognize how much this was the plan the whole time, and you got to give your hats off to her.
It's hard to enhance your brand that quickly. Get your name out there in a ubiquitous way.
No one needs honey.
No one.
Right now.
No one.
No one needs jam. There's not one systemic racist problem no one needs jam. There's not one person wrongly accused of something or whatever, doesn't have money for a lawyer, that's looking for elderberries or wildflowers or whatever the hell she's talking about. The only people that are concerned with this stuff are people like, she lives in an area in Montecito that's so wealthy, they're not even on Earth anymore.
No.
And it's a beautiful area. It's a great area. But they float around and they have tea and they pick flowers. Yeah. They live in a fairy tale.
She makes sun tea, Tim.
Yeah,
she makes sun tea.
And
we all have time to do.
Yeah, they kind of sit around in their backyards and they enjoy this and they smell lavender and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
it's not how you're living in LA right now.
It's not how we're living. No, we're sitting by our doors with guns.
Tim Dillon and Megyn Kelly rip into the absurd pricing of Megyn's everyday items. Jam, crepe mix, herbal tea, and it's hilariously brutal. Raspberry spread? $14. Comparable product? $3.47. Shortbread cookie mix? $14. Comparable? $7.99. Wildflower honey? $28. Amazon version? $11. Come on. You're not buying honey. You're buying the illusion of royalty. Asterisk. Tim Dillon delivers the best line of the show. She thinks we're all pigs in the mud and she's helping us. With jam. He accuses Megyn of thinking she's above everyone else, and that by sprinkling some lavender and tea on her brand, she's saving us from ourselves. The irony? Megyn's brand screams British elegance, the very institution she supposedly ran from. Isn't that weird?
Like normal people.
Yeah, we're sitting by the door with a gun waiting for someone to come in. That's how we're living. And
check the sun tea.
Yeah. No one's making honey. If you have honey in your house, you're using it as a weapon.
You don't have a local beekeeper?
No, there's no local beekeeper. There's no gardens. They've all burned.
Job. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I have a treat for you because in addition to her new Netflix show, she has launched yet another podcast.
Thank God.
This one is about...
Thank God.
Yes, this one is about founders. How does she style
Is it all female founders?
Yes.
Please,
I think it's all female founders.
Is it female founders? Female founders, right?
Confessions of a female founder.
Thank God. What are they thinking about, these female founders?
Oh, here you go.
What are they doing?
She starts with herself because she now considers herself a founder.
And it's hard to find. When you are married to a prince, how do you start a business? That's a real question, because the struggle she had to go through being married to a prince and being one of the most famous people in the world. How do you start a business when you're rich and famous?
Your castle's too small.
It's hard.
Your grandmother, your spouse's grandmother doesn't seem to really like you and then dies.
Yeah.
I mean, like your one greatest connection is now out.
Thank God, because I want to know how this all happened, and I want to get into the mind of the female founder.
Here we go. Here's this founder discussing, I think.
Remember when she pretended to like poor people? That lasted a few weeks.
I know. Sex workers, I remember that with her inspo messages on the bananas.
Right.
Here she is on her new podcast. Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, it's... well, she's also... she's kept up at night because she's... half the staff quit.
That's right.
They quit.
On any given day,
on any given day, the staff will quit because she just, launches into a tirade, and for whatever reason, they feel unsafe.
She's been accused multiple times of being a bullying abuser.
Well, she's throwing honey at people's heads and stuff. So she's kept up at night wondering about what lawsuits will trickle in because of the abusive behavior towards the staff.
You're like, didn't that soundbite just hit so many of the leftist boxes? Like, are they biodegradable?
Yes.
And what does the packaging look like?
But what I like about her, I've gone the other way now, because now that she's coming out as a monster, I'm actually on board now because I'm into it because now, by the way, there's no longer even an attempt. It's such a thinly veiled attempt to be this conscientious person who, she's really just saying, like, I'm a founder.
Yeah.
I'm a founder and I'm a big business tycoon, and it's tough for me.
If the monarchy was oppressive, why are you using crowns, lace, and scones in your branding? Then there's her new podcast, Confessions of a Female Founder. Tim and Megyn don't hold back. Megyn is pretending to be a struggling entrepreneur while living in a $14 million mansion in Montecito. Her biggest stress? Picking packaging materials and sticker placement. Not payroll. Not product testing. Stickers. It's performative. It's elite cosplay. And Megyn thinks it makes her relatable. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. Megyn and Tim call out a hilarious detail. Megyn launched her founder show with a one-pot pasta recipe, allegedly taken straight from Martha Stewart. So the first thing she did in her new empire was copy a more successful woman's brand. This isn't innovation. It's mimicry. And Tim nails it. Megyn knows Americans have short memories. She's banking on reinvention. And if we let her, she'll sell us the same recycled story, just in a prettier box. Here's where it all comes together. Tim Dillon argues that Megyn understands America better than we do. This country loves a hustler, a con artist, a slick reinvention. And Megyn is now leaning into that, fully embracing the grift. She's not trying to be relatable anymore. She's not trying to be royal. She's trying to be Gwyneth, Martha, Oprah. And she's doing it without ever really earning it.
Can I tell you, she's not the only extremely rich woman who, in her case, it's questionable, but in a lot of these other women's cases, their husbands are multimillionaires or billionaires.
Yes.
And then the women open a charity or give their money to somebody. And then they're like, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. It's like, okay.
I'm a founder.
Look, I appreciate
I've connected people with jam.
Right? I see that your husband made billions of dollars.
Right.
But the fact that you spent some of it doesn't make you a founder.
Well, it's also she never cared. It was all about, in the beginning, it was all about unwinding the systems of oppression.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's done, didn't you know?
Remember that?
She solved that.
If you remember that, it was she would go to a third world country and there'd be a bunch of kids dancing and she'd take a photo with them. Now it seems much more about she's looking at Gwyneth Paltrow, what Gwyneth Paltrow did with her store.
Yes.
Goop or whatever it's called. I think it's Goop.
Goop.
Yeah, and I think she's looking at that and going, that's what she wants to be. She wants to be Martha Stewart.
Yeah. Although what I found out after the fact was she launched her show with showing you how to make this one recipe. It's one pot pasta. You make it on the stove. And then everybody flooded Twitter with the fact that apparently is a Martha Stewart recipe.
Sure.
That's apparently very well known in Martha Stewart land.
Yeah.
So even the inaugural episode is cheating off of somebody else's
Well, I mean, you got to
recipes.
hand it to her. She knows that we don't have a memory.
Yes,
The
it's true.
country doesn't have a memory. We have a fatally short memory. And we're kind of tolerant of however people want to reintroduce themselves in the moment.
Yes.
So she understands America
I didn't know.
better than I do, or maybe you do, because she gets it. We love the huckster. We root for the huckster.
Yes.
We root for kind of the criminal sometimes. And she's kind of assuming that role of going, this is who I am today.
Right. Yeah,
This
I
is who
found
am
my
today.
wave. I'm going to
I
ride it.
found my wave.
Meghan and Tim made one thing clear. Meghan Markle is no longer pretending to be humble. She's monetizing the fantasy of struggle. From podcast confessionals to overpriced pantry items, it's all a carefully curated illusion. But the question is, how long can she keep this up before people wake up? Are Americans ready to buy jam from a duchess who sued her own family? Do you think Meghan Markle is a legitimate entrepreneur, or just the ultimate elite hustler? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button if you're done buying the brand, and subscribe for no-filter royal reactions, media breakdowns, and commentary that cuts through the noise.